Welcome to Season 3 of Soccer Over Gotham, an NWSL podcast covering New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC. Hosted by Ruby Pinto and Gary Gibson. Welcome to episode 89 of Soccer Over Gotham, your favorite Gotham podcast. We have a great show for all of you. Gary, what do we have in this episode?
Is this thing still on? For the first time in Gotham FC history, they are semifinals bound. First playoff win in team's NWSL history. Ali Krieger's last stand continues. We're on the road to Portland. We'll talk about streaming issues. We'll break down this amazing game. We'll give our stats of the week. We'll give our fan picks for player of the match. We have some goals of the season candidates. And we'll break down this Portland game as only we can. There's just so much to talk about, Ruby. Let's get started. Gotham is still alive, and we're still here. How are you?
Great. I'm actually enjoying this great and rare weather that we're having. Like, I'm wearing short sleeves at the end of October. Usually we already have jackets out and everything, but today and tomorrow it's going to be nice, so I'm enjoying that. It's going to be my wife's birthday on the 31st, so I'm scrambling, to like get everything ready to surprise her because she deserves the best.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been doing. Like, it's been busy. How you been, Gary?
On the other side of having this really beautiful weather, I had to return something to Amazon last week, and I was in Kohl's, and I walk in, and it's beginning to look a lot like, I'm like, oh no, no, it is too early for this. But every store now, it's all Christmas. Halloween doesn't even matter at this point. It's just straight into Christmas. No Thanksgiving, nothing. It's too early for me.
I think they started like back in September with the Christmas stuff. And tell me, since you went to Kohl's to return something for Amazon, I feel like that's a trap because last time I went to return something at Kohl's, they were like, "Oh, here you have a $5 Kohl's cash that you can spend today or tomorrow, or whatever." And I'm like, "Ooh, money!" So I ended up buying something. So they got me.
No, I'm a professional now. I just right in the trash. I didn't think about it. I'm out of there.
Good job.
Yes. All right, let's get on to the show. Shout out to the traveling supporters, especially Cloud9. Firstly, for the courage. They only brought 45,000 fans in attendance. Therefore, Cloud9 was allowed to be extra loud, extra fun loud, because you could hear them over their own supporters through the broadcast. They were super loud, extra fun.
Yeah, they were really, really loud. I could hear them through the TV. It was amazing. I felt so good. I was like, yes, they're there and we're being loud. And I was watching the North Carolina fans, and like a couple people were like waving their flags and like running around around. And I was like, oh, they're going to be very disappointed at the end. And thank God we won, because I was talking trash. Yeah. And we know Cloud9 knows how to party.
Yeah, there's a really funny picture of had the field mic near their section, and they ended up moving the field mic like 20 yards away. They were just so loud. But yeah. And for fans, get on Twitter, get on Instagram, wherever you got to go vote for the Gotham FC players in the NWSL End of the Year awards. We got Jenna Neiswanger up for Rookie of the Year, Ali Krieger up for Defender of the Year, and Juan Carlos up for Coach of the Year. Go vote.
God, this is amazing. This is so great. And we've been saying this like all season long about Jenna Neiswanger, how she is Rookie of the Year. And the stats prove it. Like, have you seen her numbers? They're incredible. They're the best out of the rookies of this year. So she deserves to win. If she doesn't win, it's rigged. But all three nominated should win. All three are breaking records in the club and in the league.
Yeah, and I got a bone to pick with the NWSL. All right, why is Lynn Williams and Ali Krieger not in the MVP voting yet? Mm-hmm. I mean, I like Dabinia as much as anybody, but how are you going to put an MVP candidate for 11th place team? Come on.
I know. I mean, did we see any Gotham players last year? being last place? I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, it's not going to happen unless this is like a popularity contest or something.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of voting, next week during the break, because we're going to be bored, and we're going to do our Gotham FC fan vote goals of the year. Now, there was a lot of candidates, and I had to get it down to 8. So I used a random number generator to get these matchups. So it wasn't my bias. This was actually a fair tally. So let's look at some of the matchups we're going to have up for next week. They're going to be awesome. The first one is a banger. It is Zerboni versus Orlando, that 40-yard banger. Yep. Then against Ryan, Ruby, your initial thoughts on that matchup?
I mean, Ryan against Casey, that's like legendary there. Like, that's really cool. But then again, Zerboni, that goal in Orlando from far, like you said, it's a banger. So I know everyone listening and everyone who votes is going to have a really hard time with all these goals.
Yeah. All right, we got Shim versus Orlando and Berninia versus OL. Both those are really meaningful goals.
Yeah, they are. I mean, like we said, we've been saying, like, defenders making goals. It's amazing. It's great. We really don't see that, and Berninia had to this season. But then again, Shim scoring in the NWSL while she hasn't played in a long time. That's also iconic. So it's really hard. Thank God I'm not voting. You guys decide.
Yeah, Shim was also as a defender at the time she scored too. So that makes it even more interesting. Then we got Williams and Chicago, the no-look goal, and Long versus Chicago with that free kick goal, which was amazing.
Oh my God. I feel like they're all my favorite. But the no-look goal, that was incredible.
Yeah. Then lastly, we got Esther versus Washington. Take your pick. She scored 2 in that game. And then Neiswanger versus OL, that banger from like 35 yards.
I mean, on her first game, Esther makes a goal like on her first game with Gotham. That's really cool to do. And it's rare to do too. I mean, there's some players that they play really well but don't get to score. But she definitely made a mark coming to Gotham, so that's amazing. And Neiswanger, Rookie of the Year, it's so hard to decide.
Yeah, 2 goals in your home debut was pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll see what the fans think. It's going to be very, very interesting, and I'm sure highly debated. Okay, speaking of highly debatable, I think that the CBS Sports Network debacle was exactly that. It was a debacle. Yeah. I'll just cut to the chase. I think it's disrespectful for the league to put playoff games on CBS Sports Network. I mean, you have to know your audience. A lot of your audience are streamers and cord cutters. To put these games on a frankly obscure channel after they paid for Paramount Plus all season, where only like 3 streaming services have it, and it's all like $100 a month, is, again, I think it's disrespectful. We posted reminders about it, and then we still had fans like 10 minutes before the game asking like, how am I going to get this? How do I work this? Then we get a fan going, okay, well, if I did this, and then this, and that's how I'm watching the game. And it's like, that shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't have fans doing this, and then this to watch a playoff game of their own team that they wanted to watch. So I think it sucks. And yeah, the Portland game, it will also be on CBS Sports Network. And yeah, so here we go again. Maddening.
Yeah, it really is. Like you said, last minute, we're here trying to figure out how to do this. And these other options are not cheap. Thankfully, there's trials for some of them. And if you're good, not like me, sometimes I forget to like cancel these trials and have to pay a month for it. But if you're really good at this, and you can set a reminder and then cancel it. But then again, we have another game next week that we don't know how we're going to watch. You're probably going to have to make another trial, whatever. I guess it is what it is, but we're going to have to do it again November 5th. Fortunately, I was able to watch the game in Spanish on NWSL.com. But like you said, we shouldn't have to scramble last minute to see where we're going to watch these games. And I really hope that next season, this is something that we will not have to speak about unless it is. Remember when we used to have to like scramble to watch the playoff games? hopefully they find a solution to this because, like you said, we're used to going to Paramount Plus and finding the games there every week. And now you're like pulling this off. Like we're coming and not finding the games on Paramount Plus. So kind of disappointing, but hopefully they can fix it for next season.
Yeah, I guess it is what it is. I guess I'll watch it on my computer on NWSL.com, the Spanish version. I watched the entire World Cup in Spanish, so let's just keep it going, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and their announcers are better anyway. If I don't understand them a little better. But yes, let's get to this game. This game was ridiculous. So for the second time in 3 seasons, Gotham embarks towards the Cup. In 2021, Gotham entered the playoffs as the 5th seed. This season, they're entering as the 6th seed. The slate is clean. Gotham needs to just win 3 one-off games in a row to win bring the championship home. And all these games will be on the road, which is fine for the second best road team in the league. Now, the Courage, despite winning the Challenge Cup and being a top team this year, they have not beaten Gotham. They are suffocating in the amount they possess, but they can be a team that possesses for the sake of possession and don't always do a lot with it. They are unbeaten in their previous 13 home games. However, Gotham has scored on them 7 times in the past 4 games and 3 times the last time out. Now, onto the injury report. Again, it's getting shorter and shorter. There was one notable addition to the injury report, which got me a little bit nervous. It was Jenna Nice-Warner as questionable. I'm glad that she played, but that gave me a little bit of anxiety. Taryn Torres McCall on season ending, and Kelly O'Hara, Christy Mewis on as questionable. Now, I think the biggest injury news of the match is the devastating news that the Courage placed Caroline on season-ending injury for tearing her right ACL. It's just a bummer. One of the top young attackers in the world. I mean, she was recently in talks to move to Europe, probably for a huge paycheck. I'm just hoping for a speedy recovery for her.
Yeah, definitely devastating for her as a player to have an injury when your team is going to the playoffs, and especially when she's like involved in talks to go to Europe for a big amount of money. Definitely devastating. But this is something that Gotham has to take advantage of. Since she's a big threat, this is something that Gotham needs to take advantage of in her absence in this game.
Yeah, which brings us over to the lineup. This is Gotham's best 11, and I know we talked about this during the season where I was hoping this team finally settled down on a best 11, and I think this is it. We got that front line of Purse, Gonzalez, and Williams, relentless. And then we got that young gun midfield of Sheehan, Ryan, and Martin. And the only change from last week is Bernina back at right back over Edmonds, and we got Lopez, Krieger, and Nice-Warner across the back, and Mandy Haught in goal. Now, Ruby, any thoughts on this lineup?
I like this lineup. We don't have Kristen Edmonds this time in this game. Instead, we have Brunina, like you mentioned. I guess that is what works best. We have not seen much rotation in the starting 11, so I think the coach has found the core group of players to start. In my opinion, this is a great starting lineup to go against North Carolina.
Yeah, I think the big one is Bernina back at right back, and I wonder how much of that was that Caroline is not in this match. Last week they put Edmonds in against a more experienced attacker, and so yes, I think that probably played a little bit into it. And this lineup. We're talking about some of the best wide play in the league, and we got 2-way players across both sides. So we have Bernina and Jenna Nice-Warner, who are defenders, but definitely like to get forward. And then we have forwards like Midge Purse and Lynn Williams, who definitely like to get back. Well, they don't like to get back on defense, but they do get back on defense.
Yeah.
And Midge made that clear, I think, during the post game. but yeah. So the first half. Now, I talk about Gotham's ability to turn opposing teams' strengths into weaknesses. This Force 45 is exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, the Courage wants the ball. Let them have it, but you can only move, again, side to side or backwards as Gotham keeps slowly and methodically pushing the Courage back towards their corner flags. And Gotham just needs the Courage to make one small mistake, one bad pass, and then they're turned over near goal like we did last week with Sheehan going to Purse. This is a very comfortable first half, getting close to the halftime. I'm looking forward to going in 0-0. I'm like, okay, we did good. Now we're going to make some changes and we're going to turn the screws on them and we're going to really go after them in the second half. But something beautiful happens, and Sheehan finds a pocket of space on the right side, and she scores her first goal, and she just passes the ball to the far post, and it gets past everybody, including Murphy. And yeah, again, fantastic. What a way to get your first goal. Ruby, your thoughts going in 1-0 into the half?
My thoughts. I think it was a fantastic end to the first half. I mean, Sheehan's first professional goal couldn't come at a better time, giving Gotham the lead they needed and setting the stage for just an exciting second half. But even if they would have gone 0-0 into the halftime, I was still feeling pretty confident of how Gotham was playing. I think they were playing really well. I saw a different Gotham. They were more confident on the ball and they were able to keep North Carolina under control.
Yeah, Sheehan heard you say last week that she's not a goal scorer. She said, watch
I
this.
know.
I'm going to toe poke a ball all the way to the far post. Yeah. So
Woo!
I know that you call like a shot cross a scross. So I'm like, what do you call a pass shot? I guess we'll just call it the Sheehan.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I last week I did say she's not a goal scorer, but I guess she is now. And I know she intended to cross that ball, but at the end of the day, the goal is to get that ball in the back of the net, and she did. That's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, on Delaney Sheehan's goal, Yasmin Ryan says it's been a long time coming for Sheehan, who has helped the team so much. She deserves it more than anybody, and nobody can stop talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, all season long, she's been so close, but she finally got her goal, and I'm so happy for her. Like we've been saying, we can't sleep on Delaney.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And sometimes it's like once you get your first, it's like, okay, now now you have that confidence that you can do that. And
Yep.
yeah, hopefully more are coming. Now, on to the second half here. Shout out to Taylor Vincent on Twitter, who said that the Courage have failed to win in their last 22 matches when conceding the opening goal in the NWSL dating back to July 28th, 2019, against the Utah Royals. So that is good news for Gotham. And the Courage are forced out of their shell and they have to come forward. And Gotham just keeps turning them over and turning them over. Gotham is in complete control for 95% of the second half. And let's just talk about that goal, the nail in the coffin, and the ticket to the semifinals. What more can be said about Lynn Williams? She is just relentless. She was hustling all game. She had 11 recoveries just by herself. You could see that she was tired, but she kept tracking back. She kept getting forward. And I said last week on the award show how she's one of the greatest goal scorers in league history, but I don't think it matters to her. She just wants to win. And Neiswanger sees that 1v1 opportunity, plays the ball over the top. Lynn tracks it down, wins her duel. She could go to goal, but she plays the right ball to Ryan. And what a calm finish. And Yasmin, Chessmaster Ryan, cool as you like, second in 2 games. It is over. We are in the semifinals, Ruby.
We're in it. We're in it. Oh my God, it feels amazing to say that. But another deserving player of this goal is Ryan, definitely. And I have to give kudos to Lynn Williams for doing that. I mean, she is a cheetah out there in the field. She's fierce, she's fast. But the fact that she was selfless and passed the ball to Ryan says a lot about her. I also like that Ryan was there and being part of the play because sometimes Lynn is so fast and sometimes Lynn finds herself alone on top. And by the time like she waits for support, the opponent's defense gets organized and they don't get to score. It's just surreal to think that we're going to the semifinals and Ali Krieger is going to the semifinals with Gotham from the bottom of the table last year to this. Incredible.
Yeah, there was a moment at I think it's the 85th minute where Murphy gets the ball and Lynn is 2 feet from Murphy and she throws the ball out and Lynn looks up and she knows that this player's got 10 yards on her. but she puts her head down and she just runs her down and gets a block near the midfield, and it goes out of bounds. And I'm just like, wow, her drive and to win is just absolutely incredible. And speaking of the drive to win, after the game, it's not Ali Krieger's last game, yells Coach Amoros in the post-game huddles. It's just an incredible feeling. Another tremendous game from the captain. She's playing some of her best soccer at 39. And yeah, it's amazing. Let's get her a trophy.
Let's do it.
Let's get some player notes. I think we do. I think we do have to talk about Mandy Haught and her night. First, the good. She made 2 fantastic reaction saves. The first one on Lucy, and then the late one on your cousin, Brianna. But she has that Sheridan in her. Like nearly early in the game, she made the same mistake from last week, where she plays the ball across her body, across to the attacker, and it was like inches away from being like taken again. And just then, good Lord, she has time, and then she puts a move on a player. She successfully drives upfield, and she takes on not one but 2 Courage players before getting rid of the ball. And that first player, I remember just yelling at my TV like, Mandy. And then the second time I was like, Mandy, can you just be a normal blast the ball out of bounds keeper for just 1 second, please? Oh gosh, man, she had me yelling at that TV. Gosh, Ruby.
I was at that when that happened. I was not yelling. I was not. When she took those 2 defenders, I nearly had a heart attack and my eyes were wide open. I was just quiet. Oh my, yeah, it was. I nearly had a heart attack when I saw that, but it came out beautifully. Like she's done it before. She did it like whoop whoop, like 2. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, I need to have more faith. I need to believe.
Yeah.
And game after game, Mandy Haught has been building her confidence. And in this playoff game, she was a very crucial player. She got a clean sheet, and I mean, just incredible. And I'm so happy for her.
Yeah, I've been telling y'all she's a talented keeper, and she's going to be special. She's going to be super special.
Yeah.
And I got some homework for you guys to do. So here is the homework. We're going to talk about Mandy's footwork versus Murphy's footwork. Now, go watch the NWSL highlights. The official ones are like 4 minutes and like 45 seconds long. Pay attention to the footwork of Mandy versus Murphy. Mandy constantly stays on her toes. She's always bouncing around. She's staying ready. She's staying ready to launch. And Murphy on both those goals is completely flat-footed. And I think the one save Casey makes on Ryan, she was a little bit better on. But honestly, as a fan of the national team, that is a bit concerning. Yeah, I hope she works on that. But there is a moment in that highlights where they zoom in on Lucy taking a shot, and you can actually see Mandy, her legs are bouncing before she makes that save. It's such a little thing, but if you know anyone who is a keeper or wants to be a professional keeper, have them watch that highlight. And Mandy is amazing in this. So yes,
I don't know.
good on Mandy.
She's been doing something, maybe some salsa dancing on the side. Who knows? But top to bottom, this team has really worked their ass off. Yeah,
they certainly have. And if you watch the extended highlights, the last like 30 seconds, it is the save on Pinto. They don't have that in the 45-second highlight earlier. That last segment, you see the camera kick in, and Mandy's again is bouncing. She comes over, makes a beautiful save. It is a work of art, and that is a type of goalkeeper that Daniel Ball insisted Kaylin Sheridan, Dee Dee Heritage, and her become, and it's paid off. Now, let's get some takeaways. And defense wins championships. Every player from the front to the back of this team played an incredible amount of defense this unit, and they defended as a unit. Incredible.
Yeah, and like Midge said, Gotham defended as a team and attacked as a team in this game.
Yeah, certainly did. And let's just talk about that midfield as well. I said last week this young midfield is going to make or break this run, and they were splendid. There was an interesting note. I think for most of the second half, Sheehan was in the 6-8 position and Martin was in the 10. Like, I'm not sure exactly why that was, but my guess is that they wanted more defensive pressure on O'Sullivan, who's like the crux and the fulcrum of that team. So, however it was, it worked.
Yeah, and it's all about the details, just like Mandy Hot details on her footwork. At this point and in a playoff match, details matter. Gotham has the talent, but I think they were lacking a little bit in the details, and things here and there are what makes the difference when you see the big picture. So details, love it.
Yeah, and also it was really good to see Amani Dorsey and Taryn Torres traveling with the team. It's I hope they return next season. Both of them are out of contract at the end of the season. Post game quotes: Amros dedicated this victory to Gotham FC GM Yael Averbuch. She says she's done so much work behind the scenes. She's incredible, and winning this game has meant so much for her. We knew this was another step in making the history for this football club.
And I think it was really nice of him to acknowledge her work. Sometimes we forget all the hard work that happens behind the scenes. She is a strong person who has managed to bring this club to the top while battling ulcerative colitis. We know she will have a procedure done after the season is over, so we wish her nothing but the best and a speedy recovery for Yale.
Yeah, you never know what anybody's going through, and so you
Mm-hmm.
always got to be kind to everybody out there. You never know what people's struggles are, and for her to come out and say that was very brave of her. And we wish her nothing but the best, speedy recovery. And yeah, yeah, she's done an amazing job. She was put in a really we'll get to this probably at the end of the season show, but she's just put in a really tough position entering this team outside of Lisa Hugh, and she's done an incredible job, especially this season. She learned the ropes last season, and she's really putting in the work this season. Now, Lopez says playing with Ali Krieger is a dream for her. It's amazing to be on the pitch next to her. She always helps me, and she's the mom of the team, helping us and pushing us to get better. She deserves more than anyone to advance to the next round and hopefully the trophy.
Yeah, hopefully. I really hope Ali Krieger gets to lift that trophy. And I know all the players are giving their all for this to happen. On the Snacks podcast, Lynn Williams mentions how now that the season is ending, all players feel mentally and physically exhausted, but they all want to give Ali a championship, and that motivates them to keep going.
Yeah, and they've been fantastic as a pair, Lopez and Krieger. And this game was no exception. They had 32 recoveries combined, 16 each. There was nothing getting past them. A tremendous pair. Any stats of the game, Ruby?
Yes, talking about Lopez, incredible game for her. 76 touches, 16 defensive recoveries, 3 tackles, 2 clearances, 1 interception, and 7 out of 9 duels won. Crazy.
Yeah, fantastic. And my stat of the week, or game, is passing. As I said earlier, the Courage outpossess everybody, but they don't do a lot with it. I also said Gotham takes the team's strengths and turns them into weaknesses. This is interesting. Gotham ended the game 50-50 with the Courage in passing. There was only 3 teams this year that have done that. Not a single team has gotten more than 50% passing against the Courage. So good on Gotham for being able to control the Courage. And
Yeah.
the Courage only had 7 more passes than Gotham in this game. And again, they were allowed to have the ball, but only side to side and backwards. They had 248 passes in their own half and only 85 in Gotham's half. So well done, Gotham. Let's get to our player of the week on Twitter at OverGothamPod. Fans chose Williams. Thanks to the fans who voted. Do you agree, Ruby?
If I could, I would give him to all because there's a lot of players that stood out for this game. Mandy, Ali, Lopez, Williams, Ryan, Sheehan. Oh my God, everyone did the work. They put in the work. But I'm going to have to give it to Maitane Lopez just based on her stats that I gave.
Yeah, these are the games where I'm like texting you and I'm texting Jenna and texting my friends. I'm like, how do I get this down to 4? How do I possibly make a poll with 4 players when so many players played exceptionally well? For me, like honestly, it's Lynn Williams. I've been saying this all episode, but I'm in all of her work rate on both sides of the ball. 83 minutes, she's sprinting, and she's sprinting to the 6 to block a pass in midfield. Then the hustle, the fight to create that goal in stoppage time. I mean, even track down a bad pass after that in like the 95th minute and almost got a goal. She is just she's unstoppable, relentless. Say what you want about her. She's just amazing. Again, 11 recoveries just as a forward is impressive. Well done, Lynn. Let's get over to the standings. We advance to the semifinals on November 5th, and we end up playing against Portland, the number 2 seed. On the other side, they have the OL Reign and Megan Rapinoe in a similar situation to Ali Krieger, and against this number 1 San Diego Wave. Ruby, we get a break, which is nice. We get a chance to get more players back from injury. I said on the last podcast that the hardest part is over. I think making it into the playoffs is the hardest part. Now you're part of an 8-team tournament. Again, anything could happen. Gotham just has to win 3 games. And it's not that when you ask, like, can Gotham win the championship? It's not quite that. When you're in a tournament like this, it's can they win the next game? Can they beat North Carolina? Yeah, they can beat North Carolina on a one-off. And now we're going to Portland. Can they beat Portland in a one-off? I think they can. I think especially with this team and the staff, Gotham just has to win 2 more games, one-offs. I think they can do it. What do you think, Ruby?
Anything is possible. We're so close and we cannot deny that. And I think Gotham is going to be a different Gotham playing against Portland. I know Portland usually wins, or they win most of the time against Gotham, but I think this time around is going to be different. Again, we're in the playoffs, we're in the semifinals. They have to bring that different energy to this game. So I do see them giving them a hard time.
Yeah, I agree. And we have to win this game for Mana and Sinead. They need closure. Let's get that win for them. And you know what? Every team in the playoffs deserves to be there. So why not us? Especially, given we have proven winners on this team. Lynn hasn't won championships and the Shield by chance. Krieger isn't a World Cup winner by accident, and Ryan didn't win a championship with Portland by accident. This team has as good a shot as anybody. I think we should all stay ultra positive going into this one. Gotham belongs here. They are close. Let's go get it. What are we manifesting this week, Ruby?
All right. So this week, I'm going to say Gotham in the final and holding the trophy at the end.
Yeah, let's do that. I also am manifesting Krieger and Rapinoe in the final. What a scene that would be.
Oh, yes.
Any random thoughts before we go?
No, don't have any random thoughts. Well, just one, because I'm going to like a last minute kind of like Halloween/birthday party for my wife. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to wear for Saturday. And it's Saturday. So we're recording Thursday. In 2 days, I have to come up with a costume. I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I get to wear 3 costumes this year, which is fun. I have 2 like work functions. Like I like professional costumes.
Yeah.
So like I'm going to do like Star Trek captain for one of them, and then I might do Grease. I have one that's like what's the Thunderbirds? Is that what's the
Thundercats?
No. The the name of the group that's in Greece. Is it the Thunderbirds?
I don't know.
Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Greece group name, maybe the T-Birds.
Yes, that's it. T-Birds. Yes. So I have my T-Birds jacket, so I'm going to wear that for work. And then I'm going to a costume party, and I'm going to be Michael Myers.
Okay, look at you already. I was like, worst comes to worst, if I can't get anything like creative, I mean, I'll just be a soccer player, I guess.
Yeah. And speaking of creative, shout out to my girlfriend, Alana. She, in another life, she was a costume designer. So she makes all of her own Halloween costumes from scratch. And they're super ultra elaborate. She did one of Sweeney Todd. And she's doing this year, have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Okay. I know Khal Drogo, that big hulking guy. She's making his costume from scratch, and it's going to be amazing. I've seen part of it already. Yeah. Incredible. Yeah. Can't wait to see her.
You got to post pictures.
I will. I definitely will. But all right, guys, we got a break. So we will catch you on the other side. Maybe we'll do some kind of Twitter space. I still refuse to call it X. And yeah, so relax, everybody. Let's be super positive and let's go make it to the finals, shall we?
Let's go.
Hi everyone, this is Gary. Thank you for listening and supporting our project. Here are other ways you can support the show and connect with us. First, word of mouth is everything, so please share our show with anyone who might listen. Also, please rate us 5 stars on Spotify and review us on iTunes. You can purchase our merchandise at the TeePublic store. Join in the conversation on Twitter at OverGothamPod and Instagram at SoccerOverGotham. Lastly, you can email your thoughts and questions at soccerovergotham@gmail.com. Once again, thank you.